Do you think you know angels? Think again. In just a few minutes, we're going to reveal a shocking truth from the sacred pages that will shake everything you thought you knew about these heavenly messengers. Contrary to popular belief, angels are much more than mere conveyors of divine words. What if I told you that their true mission, as described in Hebrews 12:22, is something you could never have imagined? Get ready for a quick and astonishing discovery that will forever change your view of the celestial world. Stay with us and unravel the mystery of the myriad angelic beings that transcend any human count. You won't believe what we're about to unveil. However, we often stumble upon a common misconception. Recently, I've noticed many writings suggest that angels are the spirits of deceased people returning to Earth. But let's clear this up. According to Scripture, this idea is nothing more than a myth. Angels are, in fact, unique celestial beings crafted by the Creator's hands, distinct from human spirits. The Book of Psalms enlightens us by saying that we were made a little lower than the angels, indicating that we are different in essence and purpose. These celestial beings have an origin so ancient that they precede humanity itself. Recall the story of Adam and Eve narrated in Genesis, where a guardian angel stands at the entrance of the Garden of Eden, marking a watershed in human history. And as Matthew clarifies, angels exist in a unique state, not participating in human acts like marriage. Therefore, in the beginning, even before the creation of humanity, God's angels already inhabited the cosmos. Among these, except for those who fell into rebellion along with Lucifer, all remained faithful, loving, and obeying every divine command. This celestial devotion is described in Psalms. Within this celestial host, there are fascinating hierarchies and orders. Seraphim and cherubim, mentioned in Isaiah and Psalms, are just a few examples of the rich angelic tapestry. They are not only in the celestial realm, but also here among us, assisting humanity in all its forms: men, women, youths, and children. Indeed, the Bible can be seen as a book filled with angelic narratives, although interestingly, it names only 4 of these beings. Among them, Lucifer the fallen angel holds a notorious place. Isaiah narrates his tragic story, a fall driven by pride and rebellion against the Most High. "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?" This verse begins the tale of his fall, painting a picture of ambition and defiance of divine authority. Before his fall, Lucifer was a creature of incomparable beauty, described in Ezekiel as the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Picture a being adorned with every precious stone, an anointed cherub, perfect in all his ways from the day he was created. His function was to reflect the glory of the Creator, a mission from which he tragically deviated. Now let's delve into the majestic figure of Michael the Archangel. Known as the chief angel, Michael stands out in the heavenly realm not just for his title, but also for his imposing presence and crucial role. The scriptures often present him as a prince among the celestial, a born leader in the splendid army of divine beings. Interestingly, whenever Michael appears in the scriptures, there seems to be an imminent or ongoing battle. He is rarely mentioned in a peaceful context, suggesting his specialization as a spiritual warrior. This archangel is not just a fighter. He is a force for celestial justice, leading battles against the forces of darkness and evil. His presence inspires courage and determination, and his skill in spiritual conflict is unmatched. Michael's role is not confined to ancient times or stories of the past. He is also a central figure in the events that, according to beliefs, will mark the end of times. His involvement in these decisive moments is frequently discussed and anticipated by those who study prophecies and eschatological narratives. Picture Michael armed for celestial battle, his armor shining with the light of divine justice, ready to defend the good and combat the forces of evil. His image evokes not just strength and determination, but also hope, serving as a powerful reminder that in the spiritual battles of life, we are not alone. In our dive into sacred narratives, we find in Daniel a crucial moment where Michael the Great Prince stands up in defense of the people. This passage not only reinforces his image as a warrior, but also as a vigilant protector. The words are chosen with care. He watcheth over the sons of thy people, suggesting a role that goes beyond the battlefield, encompassing protection and care. The figure of Michael is also seen in Thessalonians. Here Paul describes a powerful scene. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. This imagery, in which the voice of the archangel Michael echoes as a divine call, is as grand as it is inspiring. In the book of Revelation, we find the epic narrative of the celestial battle. Here Michael leads the angelic forces against the devil and his followers. Pride, the sin that caused Lucifer's fall, is the same that propels him into this doomed battle against the Almighty. Hardened by pride, Lucifer faces off against Michael and his heavenly army, but is ultimately defeated and cast out of heaven. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back, but they did not prevail, and their place was no longer found in heaven. This passage reveals not just the magnitude of the battle, but also the triumph of justice and divine order over rebellion. Pride, this insidious force, often leads to the abyss of destruction. And it is in this arena that Michael's greatness is most clearly manifested. His strength and combat prowess are legendary, as evidenced in his decisive victories against the devil. When iniquity was found in Lucifer, it was Michael who rose to confront him, culminating in the devil's expulsion from heaven. A particularly striking example of Michael's intervention occurred during a crucial moment in Daniel's life. When Daniel fervently prayed for 21 days, a cosmic deadlock formed. The Prince of Persia, a powerful and obscure figure, opposed the angel tasked with delivering the answer to Daniel's prayers. The situation became so tense that Michael had to step in. The angel reveals to Daniel, "Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to humble thyself before thy God, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days, but lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me." This episode illustrates not just Michael's strength, but also his role as a liberator in celestial conflicts. Furthermore, in Jude, we find Michael rebuking the devil in the name of the Lord during the dispute over Moses' body. These narratives underscore his unwavering role as God's warrior, a commander who has never lost a battle. The fact that Michael is an archangel highlights the existence of an order and hierarchy among angels. In Revelation, it was not just Michael who fought against the devil and his angels, but he led the heavenly army, reaffirming his status as their chief commander. It's interesting to note, as revealed in Daniel, that Michael is described as one of the chief princes, indicating that there are others of similar status in the heavenly realm. While the Bible does not detail more about these other celestial princes, this mention opens up room for imagination about the magnitude and complexity of the hierarchy in heaven. In this context, the figure of the angel Gabriel emerges. If you're familiar with the Christmas story, you'll surely recognize Gabriel as the messenger who announced to Mary her miraculous pregnancy and the imminent birth of Jesus. Gabriel is, in fact, one of only 2 good angels explicitly named in the Bible, the other being Michael. Although sometimes referred to as an archangel, the Bible never explicitly confers this title upon him, unlike Michael, who is clearly identified as such in the book of Jude. Gabriel's role is distinctly different from that of Michael. While Michael is often associated with battles and confrontations, Gabriel is the bearer of good news, a messenger of hope and divine revelation. He also appears in the story of Zechariah the priest, bringing the joyous news of the conception of John the Baptist, the forerunner of Jesus. This role of Gabriel in delivering messages of great importance and joy is a reminder that angels have varied and significant roles in biblical stories. On a memorable day narrated in Luke, Zechariah enters the temple performing his priestly duty. In a moment of deep reverence and tranquility, he experiences something extraordinary. An angel of the Lord appears, emanating a divine presence, positioned at the right side of the altar of incense. This angel was none other than Gabriel, the messenger of good news. Gabriel, with his celestial presence, brings a surprising message to Zechariah. His wife Elizabeth, despite her advanced age, would give birth to a son. Zechariah's reaction, a mix of disbelief and questioning, is understandable. He expresses his doubts. "How shall I know this? For I am an old man, and my wife is well along in years." Gabriel's response is as assertive as it is mysterious. "I am Gabriel, that stand in the presence of God, and am sent to speak unto thee, and to show thee these glad tidings. And behold, thou shalt be dumb, and not able to speak until the day that these things shall be performed, because thou believest not my words, which shall be fulfilled in their season." This interaction between Zechariah and Gabriel is laden with significance. It's not just a display of divine power, but also a lesson about faith and trust in celestial promises. The temporary muteness of Zechariah serves as a tangible sign of the certainty of Gabriel's message, highlighting the importance of belief in the divine will. Gabriel's narrative, however, finds its pinnacle in an even greater announcement. His subsequent visitation to Mary, a young virgin betrothed to Joseph, marks one of the most significant moments in biblical history. Gabriel's message to Mary is not just one of miraculous conception, but also of the incarnation of divine love and salvation for humanity. Addressing her with profound respect and reverence, Gabriel declares, "Hail, thou that art highly favored, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women." His words, filled with divine grace and promise, reveal the extraordinary nature of Mary's calling. Through Gabriel's announcement, the celestial and the terrestrial intersect in a profound and transformative way, setting the stage for the arrival of Jesus Christ. The angel's message, delivered with celestial authority, underscores the central role that angels play in the divine narrative, acting as messengers and instruments of God's will.